Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. All backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
It's in our blood, it's in our bones, orange and brown, yeah, we ride for our own like a dog pack running. We ain't alone, game day comes, get ready for the show. It's our call, it's our bark, it's our song. We stand tall, yeah, we've been here all along. Through it all, the dog pound standing strong. We all dogs, yeah, we all dogs. Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reniker, Justin Shawls, Kenny Mack, and Josh Hall. We all dogs!
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Had to take a week off last week. It was last week we took a week off, right?
Yep.
I can't. All the weeks blend together. But we're coming back to you now. We got Browns training camp right around the corner, so we're going to get into all the good stuff about that. Also, some Shedeur in the national news, I guess, and even I've seen local Browns media talk about it, and it's just like the dumbest topic. So we'll give you our thoughts on that as well. Before we do, though, remember, if you want to get intros on the show, it's not intros, nobody's done that in 2 years. If you want to get thoughts on the show, head to thedogspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Make sure you tap the notification bell so you don't miss any of the content we're putting out. You can listen on Apple and Spotify. And if you want more Dogs content, head to jointhedogs.com, become an official Dogpack member on the Patreon page, get access to the private Discord, play fantasy football with us, just meet a bunch of cool Browns fans from all over the world. So that's jointhedogs.com if you want extra Dogs content. So right off the rip here tonight, Josh says he has a message that was sent to us via the website. That's thedogspodcast.com. So let's just get right into it.
Yep, this message is from Mike. So real quick backstory. The other day last week, we had the Jersey Dogs do their second episode, and they did Browns jerseys. They kind of talked about your favorite jersey, your lucky jersey, all that kind of stuff. So Mike says the guys at Jersey Dogs were talking about jerseys. So how about this for some jersey luck? After many years, I bought my first jersey, Nick Chubb. 2 games later, there goes his leg. So next season, I buy myself a JOK number 6 jersey. Safe choice, awesome player. A few weeks later, runs into Derrick Henry. After that, being a big fan of Harold Fannin since listening to your show, I knew he would be a dog, so I got the 88 jersey. First game of the season, he must have heard my jersey curse and swapped to number 44. Now, I don't want to tell you whose jersey I bought for this year, but let's just say he's now in Los Angeles. So I guess I will just be wearing a Browns t-shirt. My friends joke that I'm a curse, but it might be true. So I thought that was kind of funny. Like, he can't catch a break. Mike,
I would know.
That
is bad luck, man. That is bad luck. I think I've only had bad luck like that with 2 Browns jerseys, both number 80. I got Andre Rison in my late teens, and then I got Kellen Winslow Jr.
Can't wear that one. Can't wear that one anymore. Can't wear that one. Gotta just turn that one into the Goodwill.
Yeah, see you later.
I will say this. It was Mike, right?
Yes.
Mike, stop buying jerseys just for the benefit of the team. It would do great. Honestly, though, I feel his pain. I have a huge collection of Browns jerseys that are probably not worth anything other than sentimental value, and but I still wear them. I recently got to wear a Josh Cribbs one that I love. I still have a Tim Couch throwback that I just got from like 2 years ago at Goodwill. Shout out Goodwill, by the way. If you want to go and just get Legends collection of Browns jerseys,
no doubt.
Hit the Goodwill up. You'll spend about $18 and walk out with Nick Chubb, Jarvis Landry, and Baker Mayfield. I guess you'd be set to go to any Browns games you want. But, it is what it is. It's a tough thing. I actually haven't gotten one this year. I think I'm just going to keep wearing Nick Chubb just out of sentimental love for that guy.
Actually, you know what he can't go wrong with is a Dog Pound Dad T-shirt. That's where you got to go, brother. You got two of them on this show.
Unless you're not a dad. Unless you're not a dad. And then it's just kind of weird, but it is what it is.
True that.
It's tough to buy professional teams jerseys sometimes because, I mean, the very first Browns jersey I ever bought was Johnny Manziel. Look how that turned out.
Fire.
Either that or like Justin said, you buy a Legends. Like I have a Jim Brown jersey, stuff like that. Like guys after they've retired, and then it's like, okay, you're just buying like a Legends jersey in that way. But I had the same issue. I bought a Darius Garland City Connect jersey this year for the Cavs, and they traded him like 2.5 weeks later. Like I might still be paying it. I don't even.
Dude, we were just talking
He's
about
not even on the team.
We were just talking about Kawhi Leonard. I got his jersey for one season, and now we've traded for him, and now the trade is void. Or I don't even know if we're getting him. Like, it's bizarre.
President Trump must have put in a call to the NBA or something. Get that investigation reviewed.
I couldn't pay the tariff.
I bought a Shedeur Sanders 12 jersey last year.
Yep.
So
I've got
a Denzel Boston jersey in the front.
This is just a quick hitters. I will shoot off 5 that I guarantee you I can't wear that I have in the closet right now. Trent Richardson will never be able to wear that.
Yeah.
Will never be out. Now there's some other ones like Joe Hayden. I wear that one proudly 100%. Still. But there's a lot of them. Manziel's one. I remember, unfortunately, you can still go and see like Dante Stallworth Browns jerseys at thrift stores. Like that's not a badge of honor to wear, but they're out there.
Yeah, I was going to say the number 12 Shedeur, if we want to segue into that, because he had a photo shoot here recently. I think that's the topic we were going to dive into, and Rex Ryan had some comments, but the photo shoot, he had like how many Browns number 12 jerseys on the ground, and then what was it, like a grave with the white number 12 laying on top of it? I thought it was kind of a cool look, at least for the photo.
So this is one of those things where I saw Rex Ryan's post. Rex is a moron. There's a reason why he's not a coach anywhere anymore and never will be with his fake teeth. And
Jeez, bro.
You need sunglasses to watch it.
And then I've even seen like some of the local media talking about it. I think it was like Lima was kind of being facetious when he was talking about it. Like, can he handle business ventures and have a photo shoot while still preparing to be a starting quarterback in the NFL? How much? There's a lot of time in a day. You know what I mean? Like, do people think that he has to wake up at 6 a.m. and just do nothing but football preparation from 6 a.m. until he goes to bed at whatever time he goes? Like, there's a lot of time in the day, especially if you don't have to go to, a job for 10 hours at the factory. You got a lot of time. Think about it. You wake up, say he's got to be at the facility by 5 a.m. for treatments or whatever, get out on the practice field for 2 hours, maybe does some extra throwing and stuff afterwards, maybe gets in a lift. You can put 8 hours in at the facility doing nothing but football stuff, and he's out there by 2:00 in the afternoon. Turns out there's still a whole bunch of the rest of your day that you can go do stuff, and then you can sit there and watch film on your tablet at night while you're laying in bed if you want to get in some extra film prep. Like, guys, there's a lot of time in a day. It's not that big of a deal to have a photo shoot in the afternoon in the off season. Like, I think it was an interview with Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer, so he doesn't maybe not have to do as much. But they were like asking him about like the prep, and he was like, one of the biggest misconceptions about this is like that we do it for 20 hours a day. He was like, you get up, you go to the facility, you work out a little bit, you do your practice, do your meetings, and you go home. Like, we're really only working like 4 or 5 hours a day. And like, so no, these guys don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. and start doing football prep and do nothing but football prep until they go to bed at night just because he's in a quarterback competition. As long as he's doing the work he needs to do and doing any extra work he needs to do to make sure he's putting his best foot forward in the competition, there is plenty of free time throughout the day to do other stuff.
Yeah, well, what cracked me up is he made that comment or that post on X, and I don't know if it was the same day or like the day right before. It was when Shedeur was down in Miami with Deshaun Watson and all the receivers and everybody doing their workout down there in Florida and their training. And then he gets on a private jet because of the hurricane or the storm down there, has all the flights delayed. He's going to miss his youth camp that took place on Sunday. So he went and found a private jet that would fly him out up to Cleveland so he could make it on time for that youth camp. And then I think it was Shannon Sharp said like that private jet had to be at least $45,000. That's kind of crazy just to make sure that he was there for that commitment. And that was after Rex Ryan said that he's a me guy and not a we guy.
Well, you know who a me guy is Rex Ryan. You guys remember when he was the coach? He's the original like me guy coach. That guy, like he guaranteed Super Bowls every year. I mean, I don't even know if he has a winning record. And when he had Hard Knocks, man, that dude freaking loved the cameras, especially like when he was like, what was this thing? Get your snacks. Do you remember that? That you guys are down in cheeseburgers, and he was like making fun of all the players on the team. But I mean, the guys had public feud after public feud. Doesn't matter if it's Tom Brady, doesn't matter if it's the Dolphins or the Patriots or whoever he was. That guy just is the epitome of a me guy. And I thought it was like the irony of him calling a me, like shouting out a me guy. And he's the me guy overall. I mean, he's known for like notorious takes. That's what he does. But I guess he got us talking about him. So good on you, Rex.
All I'll say on this is Shedeur Sanders isn't the first athlete to have side ventures. They all do it. They all have side business ventures. They all have things that they invest in and, their foundations and, charities and businesses. At the end of the day, for me personally, this is just ESPN trying to just get things stirred up. Just get any kind of attention to their network.
Absolutely.
That's all it is. Shedeur Sanders is the polarizing name. It's easy to pop shots at him and get people stirred up because then it's a hornet's nest. You have everybody talking about it. Everybody's fired up at Rex Ryan. Everybody's saying, whether you agree or disagree, because there's two sides of it, but I just think that this is just your normal, we're in July, we're bored, and we have nothing else to talk about on First Take.
Hey, look at the endless thing about Baker Mayfield and progressive commercials. Like we just never heard the end of it, right? And it's just quarterbacks, whether it's anybody on the team, you get the right to make money elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things too where it's all going to come down to how he performs on the field, because if he plays well, nobody will care that he's, in commercials and photo shoots. And if he plays poorly, it'll be just like it was with Baker when he had the progressive commercials and was playing poorly. People will hate it. This dude's in every commercial on TV, and the game comes back and he throws an interception, but he has time to do all these that's what it's going to be. Despite all of us agree that there's time, especially in the off season. Now, during the season, maybe when you're like, you're in actual game mode prep and you're, at the facility traveling and all that, maybe don't do a bunch of photo shoots while you got game prep going on for that week. But when you're in the off season, I mean, they don't have anything going on right now. They're in between.
Yeah.
So, of course. Like, come on, give me a break. But it's all going to come down to how he performs on the field. If he plays well, nobody will care. And if he plays poorly, they're going to blame this photo shoot. And that's just because we live in a stupid internet world.
Yeah, well, speaking of stupid internet world, Anthony, is it Lima or Lima? I guess I hear it pronounced both ways.
I'm pretty sure it's Lima.
Well, either way.
Lima, yeah.
He's a moron. So did you see what he said today on 92.3? I don't listen to it. I just see their snippets on X and everything. But I think it's the guy who's part of Shedeur's media team said something. He was trying to justify to people like, hey, this was a serious commitment that Shedeur made, to get back to Cleveland for this youth camp. 500 kids were coming to this camp. They were at capacity. They had to cut it off and all this stuff. He wanted to make sure he was there. And he's like, listen, Shedeur can do photo shoots. He can come to the youth camp. He's doing 4 workouts a day. throughout this summer break. And Lima said, well, now do you see they're bragging about him doing 4 workouts, 5 workouts a day? He's like, is that normal? Does Patrick Mahomes work out 4 times a day? Is he working out too much? I'm like, this guy, this poor Shedeur Sanders can't do anything right.
No.
You know, like now he's working out. We have a quarterback who's too devoted to being good at playing quarterback.
Lima's like the ultimate devil's advocate.
Yeah,
and there's
like
just no way. There's no way he actually believes like 3/4 of what he says. You know what I mean? Because you can't one day be complaining about a guy doing a photo shoot and then in the same breath the very next day complain because he's doing multiple workouts in a day.
Right.
And I think I heard the clip where he's saying like, are they overcompensating? Is he actually doing this? Like, bro, who cares? He's working out. He's trying to be better. And then in his free time, he does a photo shoot. Like, you know, I guarantee you Lima doesn't spend every waking second on his radio show. I bet you when he's off of work, he goes home and enjoys his free time and does whatever it is he wants to do. And he sure as shit could be better at radio.
This is very true.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, hey, you know what? Rex Ryan, he basically just applying a standard he never applied to himself. So, you know, he's a boomer, and that's a boomer take that the quarterback, you know, has to be the guy that puts himself first. They do other stuff. So,
yeah, I see Caleb in the chat said he can't do anything right in some people's eyes, but he's working his butt off. I will say that's what I like about this whole situation, because we've had quarterbacks in the past that we've had high hopes for and optimism, and they haven't exactly put football first or taken it all that seriously until they're maybe a little bit older. They had to mature, whatever the case might be. Shedeur Sanders is like, he is all in to being the best quarterback he can be. I mean, like Blake said, it's all got to play out on the field, and we won't know that until the season comes in, but at least he's putting in the time and effort to get there.
Yeah, great part of the community, everything he does, like, it's been awesome.
All right, we might have a little technical difficulty. Blake, I have no idea what's going on, man. Does anybody else hear the voicemail that Blake's hearing?
I do not hear that. It's about the draft.
Turn all your windows off.
If anybody in the chat is hearing some phantom voicemail playing, I don't hear it either, Blake. So I don't know, man. That is really weird.
I can tell you it happened to me last week, man. All of a sudden YouTube just started playing and I didn't know what the hell was going on.
This group text. I'm just reading it come across the top of my.
I know. Sorry, everybody. Blake's something's happening to his audio over there.
Okay, it went away. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
God.
Tell us about what just happened.
Bro, all of a sudden you guys are talking and DF is just talking in my ear about the number 2 overall pick. Nice. I'm like, what is going? And then all of a sudden it was social worker Josh talking about doing an intro. We haven't had an intro in 2 years.
I wonder where you were getting that from.
I have no idea.
That's crazy. Social worker Josh, where are you? We haven't heard from you in a while, bro.
So
give us a call.
That was, I guess this is the kind of stuff that happens when you do it live, but that was
doing
weird.
It live. Oh, man. Wow.
All right. Well, I don't even know what you guys are talking about because DF was just like really drowning me out. So you guys kind of
just
pick it up
wrapping
and I'll
up
just
the conversation about, Shedeur working hard and, everybody just needs to chill out. Thank God that training camp is just about to start.
Yeah. Yep. I think that it'll take away a lot of the nonsense, clickbait stuff.
Oh, give me some real football, stories.
11 days.
Not that Gabriel Dillon's got a chance. I don't want to hear this stuff. Like all this nonsense that's coming along. Like Jimmy off this practice squad's gonna, revolutionize whatever part of, the team. Like, oh man.
So it's Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
What did I say?
You said Gabriel Dillon.
Oh, see, that's how pissed off I'm getting backwards, man. So,
but, I know it was Lance Reisland on X was posting a whole bunch of stuff, and I was talking to him back and forth a little bit too on there about he's saying how we really shouldn't rule Dylan Gabriel out yet and all this kind of stuff. And it's like I understand the sentiment, and I do like Lance. I think that he does a good breakdown from the film side, and having the coaching perspective, but come on, Dylan Gabriel's not in this.
No, and honestly, I'll be shocked if they roll with 4 quarterbacks past training camp.
They
Like
won't.
somebody will have to move. I don't see them moving off of a 6th-round pick from this year. I don't see them trading Shedeur, and we can't do anything with Watson. So that just by default, I feel like it just becomes the odd man out that already has a home in Atlanta with another guy.
I think if I agree, I saw Schefter came out too and said there's not going to be 4 quarterbacks on the roster. I kind of feel like Taylor Green's the odd man out because he can't throw.
True.
He's a quarterback who can't throw a football. I just don't see a world in which he's making.
Dude, there's a lot of people too in comments and stuff on social media saying like, I want to see Taylor Green this year. I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah,
he was a below average quarterback at a below average college.
Yeah.
Like I've watched some of the clips. He cannot throw a football. I don't think there's almost no shot. I don't think I know we just drafted him. He was a 6th-round pick. Teams cut 6th-round draft picks all the time. And I know he's a freak athlete, but he can't throw unless he switches positions. I just don't see how you keep him on you need the 3rd quarterback. You need a 3rd quarterback who can actually be like, if there's an injury to your number 1, this guy's 1 snap away from being in the game. Taylor Green cannot be 1 snap away from being in the game. He can't throw. It's like it looked like when the 49ers didn't have a quarterback in the NFC Championship game.
Gosh.
It's just,
which is why we have the emergency quarterback rule now. Yeah.
Brother, that's why I'm so firm on we got to have Shedeur Sanders playing quarterback this year. Because after him, I don't believe in any of them. I don't believe in Deshaun. I don't believe in Dylan Gabriel. Green, I'm like willing to at least let's bygones be bygones. Let the kid, have a year in the NFL and with an NFL team. Maybe we can work on some technique, and all that stuff. But yeah, it's kind of rough.
Based on the number of reps he got, based on the number of reps that Gabriel got, I just don't see either one of them. It's not going to happen. They're already not getting a lot of reps in minicamp, and they're basically bringing out a new offense. It's just going to be Shedeur and Watson, and that's it.
Yeah, for sure. And I see someone here, John in the chat says Green will end up on the practice squad. I mean, you run the risk of another team claiming him if you waive him during roster cutdowns. Now, if he makes it through waivers, nobody puts a claim in on him, sure, then you can put him back on your practice squad. But if you cut him after the preseason, you do run that risk of another team going after. I mean, that's what we did in the draft. We're like, hey, this guy's got insane athletic ability. He ain't the best quarterback, but at least he's got all the intangibles. We'll just go ahead and take a flyer on him. This episode is sponsored by Kalshi. All right, Browns fans, we've all messed around with the sports books before, right? And let's be honest, you're always kind of playing against the house. But with Kalshi, it's different. You're not betting against some sports book. You're trading against other real-world people. There's no house trying to beat you. Kalshi just runs the marketplace. So if you think the public is wrong and the Browns can make the playoffs in Todd Monken's first year, or Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston, one of those guys can win Offensive Rookie of the Year, you can take the other side of the market, and then if you're right, that's a big payout for you. And it's not just sports either. You can trade on other real-world stuff, interest rates, inflation, even wild weather outcomes. It works like this. Simple yes or no markets, your risk is capped up front, and your payout is locked in. So if you trust your takes and instincts, and I know you guys do, go check out Kalshi and see what markets are live right now. So use our link in the description or just head over to kalshi.com/dogs, KALSHI.com/dogs, DAWGS, and you'll get $10 when you sign up and trade $100 on Kalshi. Because why shouldn't you guys get paid for being right?
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. All backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
Now, could they cut Dylan Gabriel and then bring in like another guy who's cut, who can, throw a football and that slides in and be the third quarterback? But like, I could see Taylor Green being a practice squad guy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see, but I just think it's I don't think he's getting cut. I won't be shocked if he's cut, but if I was betting, I would say I think he's going to make the team as the third quarterback. I would say they're way more willing to keep a 3rd round pick than a 6th round pick.
That's fair.
So
that's fair.
Well, if Taylor Green does what Dorian Thompson-Robinson did in the preseason, maybe we'll keep him. He's going to have some big runs. People are going to get excited, right? Because that's what happens every year. There's always that darling in the preseason, and he could possibly be one of them, because when you get 3rd and 4th stringers out there, guess who's going to be the best athlete on the field? That quarterback. And he may look good, but when it gets to 2nd string or possibly playing 1st string, then it's going to be a whole different story.
I think it's fair too, Kenny. And once we get into preseason, temper expectations, because if you remember, DTR played in the Hall of Fame game in preseason and basically played decent enough against guys that sell cars that he ended up getting Josh Dobbs astronauted out of town. And we ended up rolling with him into the Baltimore game, and just more dysfunction,
that is exactly what you hit the nail on the head. That's what I do not want to happen. I do not want to see that. That's the fear of having that dude in the preseason, man.
We actually rolled with DTR as our QB2 that year. You're right, man.
He sent Dobbs away in preseason. Right before he was I can remember Stefanski being Dobbs is the number 2. And then 2 hours later, he's I guess he's not on our team anymore. Holy crap. Maybe I should go up there and talk to Andrew and figure out what's going on real quick. I'll be back, guys. But crazy stuff.
So let's rule. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, that's kind of quarterback discussion. We're going to talk about training camp stuff. I did have one person in the chat, I'm sorry I missed the name, ask if we have each of us has a prediction on who will be the week 1 starter yet. So I didn't know if you guys wanted to go through and do that real quick before we go to other positions.
For quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah, no brainer, Shedeur Sanders for me.
Yeah, I'm going Shedeur Sanders. You gotta get something out of the young guy. The ship has sailed with the other guys, other than Talon.
Yep. I will also say I actually I don't just want Shedeur to start week 1. I actually think he will. I really do.
Agreed.
I think that he's going to win this competition in camp.
I agree. I think Shedeur will start. A big part of this is the fact that Zach Jackson has said that Deshaun just looks like the same Deshaun we've been seeing since he's been here. So I think if Shedeur can just throw the ball without dirting it 10 feet in front of wide receivers on a consistent basis, he's going to win the competition. So
dude,
I would say Shedeur.
I'm glad you brought that up. You know what? The one thing is we've heard nothing about how he's doing or how he's reading a defense. And maybe it's harder because we're installing a new offense. But the biggest thing that you hear when you're listening about Deshaun Watson is he looks a little bit more agile. He looks like he's throwing better. Well, who freaking cares if he's not reading the right play? And with all these stats that we see, the QB tracker, where are these balls going? We've seen one awesome pass to Boston, right? That's it. Other than that, is he just checking down? What is he doing? You know what I mean? So as far as physically being better, good for him. But I'm glad that at least Zach Jackson had the balls to say something it's the same old shit.
I know a few weeks ago when there was little reporting coming out on it, but they would say Deshaun would throw a really nice ball, and then literally the next play would miss Jerry Jeudy by 7 yards.
Yeah.
And that was the theme. Which I've seen that. I'm not shocked at all.
No, that we saw that a lot in 2024.
I see a thing in here as we kind of transition to the other positions here in training camp. It said, I'm concerned about running back. I think the Browns need a big back. Isn't Quinshon Judkins is kind of your between the tackles. I mean, that dude built like a brick shit house. You know,
Raheem Sanders is like 230 pounds, is he not?
Yes, he is. 6 foot 230. We've got big backs.
I am not worried about running back like with our team. If
Marshall's 225.
Yeah. If we want to bring up a group that I'm concerned about, other than, the obvious, and I think the quarterback battle and all that talk about quarterback has kind of covered this whole thing up. I'm terrified about offensive line. I am so nervous. We are asking a lot on a regroup that looks better on paper, obviously, but there's no chemistry. None of these guys have played together. I mean, it's obvious there's more depth than there was last year, but it's very nerve-wracking to me that we're just going to send it into the season and just hope for the best. If anything, I could see that being the downfall of the season. If other than, we're not very deep.
There's a lot of what ifs there, man. If you take a look across the line, and Josh and I have gone through this about like what's going to specifically happen at center, and that could translate what happens at right guard. Right now, I think you would pencil in Jenkins, right? And then center, like ultimately you'd want to have the rookie there to win and move Elgaton over, right? Yep. But if that doesn't happen, is right guard going to be a turnstile? And then are the other guys that are booking the out? You got a rookie that might be our left tackle. Could be DeJuan Jones. We're not sure because he can't last a season, right? And then on the other end, who's our right tackle that we signed?
Titus Howard.
Yeah.
Titus Howard. I think he sounds okay. Like he sounds like a steady Eddie. And then again, Zion Johnson, like he's a roll of the dice. My understanding with Zion, and I think Josh went through this in a previous episode. Basically, he's a superior run blocker with very little ability for pass blocking. So what we're doing is we're saying, well, I hope George Warhop can hold this together. I hope he can mesh something together. And that's what we're hoping for.
Just to touch on what you're talking about, man, if Parker doesn't go to center, I could see, and then Jenkins, let's say Jenkins stays at center. I see Tevin Jenkins probably sliding in at guard.
So there is a kind of a wild card, and you guys are going to hate this, but it's KT Livingston.
Yeah.
Because he is built to be a guard. He was a tackle. Clearly, we saw the results of him being a tackle last year. Was not good. But if you look at his profile, Josh and I did do this one. He works well in phone booth space, and that's where he does not work currently. So if you move him over, give him some time, I'm not saying he's going to necessarily start. It could be a great swing guard, but maybe something clicks and it works out for us. And then all of a sudden that 7th round pick is something that we traded for him.
Yeah, he was kind of rotating in and out with Tevin Jenkins with that first team, in the mix through OTAs and minicamp, just kind of seeing what they could do there.
For me, I'm just worried about the lack of what's the word, like gelling. I'm
cohesiveness.
Cohesiveness. That's a good word. Is that a Canadian word?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's my concern. So I would like them at least early in camp to kind of like to nail down, what the 5 guys are going to be and their spots, because the best offensive lines in the league, they move as one. And the more reps they do together, the more games they play together, that's where we're going to see the best version of this offensive line. So I don't want to be having like a right guard rotation week 1, like we did with Jenkins and Wyatt Teller last year. Like I want to see the position battles like locked in, and I want to see these guys then perform throughout training camp and the joint practices and a little bit in the preseason games, so that they've actually got some reps together as they're heading into week 1, because nothing is going to be, I'm expecting mistakes, okay, because we're so young. But, man, I don't want to lose games early in the year due to just stupid mental mistakes because, like, guys haven't got reps yet because we were trying to figure out position battles for way too long. So it's like, let's come in, let's get it figured out quick, and then let's let these guys who need to get reps together get the reps together.
Yeah, you got 3, possibly 4 entrenched. It's that right guard, and then they're like we said earlier, whatever happens at center could dictate maybe another move. But I think we've got some decent guys. It's like you said, it's like how they gel. How does George Warhop get this to work?
Yeah, and I think it would obviously be really nice if a 5th round rookie Parker Brailsford was able to, ascend and win that starting center spot right off the rip in his career. That'd be really cool. I lean more toward Elgton Jenkins probably being the starting center, at least for the beginning of the year, because with, like Justin was saying, this whole new offensive group together, they have no experience, no, rapport or anything. You want a center so important for the entire offense, not just the O-line. You want a veteran in there, somebody who's done it before, done it at a high level, and knows what they're doing. Again, if Brailsford proves that he can do that, that's awesome. I'm just not banking on it.
That's an especially important position to get right if Shedeur is going to win this competition.
Yep.
Any help that Shedeur can get with protections and identifying the mic and which way to slide, any kind of help you can get, an experienced center is going to go a long way in that kind of stuff. The offensive line, the center is the guy who calls that kind of stuff out a lot. So again, if a rookie's ready, that's cool, but it's a little bit scary. Rookie guy who's only played 7 games, touching the ball every single play. I don't mind having a little bit of experience in there to kind of help with that, especially early in the year.
Oh, absolutely.
I see Brad was saying he's very nervous about cornerback. And I will say, me too, because we don't have any depth at corner.
Yeah.
We just signed a guy today.
We signed Damari Mathis. He was a 4th round pick, 2022 by the Broncos. Apparently, and I don't know anything about this guy other than what I read today, just looking him up real quick, but he had a really good rookie season, started 11 games for the Broncos as a rookie, 65 tackles, a TFL, 7 pass breakups, good enough that going into his second season, they made him the cornerback 2 across from Pat Surtain. But that didn't
means
go
you're going to
well.
get picked on. Yeah.
He ended up getting benched that year, 2024. Missed a lot of the season with an ankle injury that he got, I think, in the preseason. And then when he did come back, played a lot of special teams. 25, they released him. Panthers claimed him right before the season, went to practice, tore his ACL. And now he's okay. So that's kind of just a quick history of this guy. And we had to cut Dom Jones because he failed his physical.
Right. I did see, so I read that tweet also, and I got to the end of it, and it was last played in 24, and I just went, well, shit. I without any background on it, I just went, either is not good or been hurt a lot, which I mean are both. It's a little unsettling, behind Ward and Campbell as our depth pieces.
It's basically like a pick that you're just rolling the dice on, right? You got a guy. What I have on his athletic profile, I've got a guy that physically plays press coverage well. He's aggressive run supporter, so maybe they want to mold him into like a nickel. Competitive mentality, better if you're in the NFL. Solid long speed, but he has a willingness to play special teams, and he did play a lot of special teams for the Broncos. So maybe that's where he'll make his bread and butter. Because I mean, who's he competing with? Miles Harden and who else?
Yeah, and we're
that,
really hoping that 1 or 2 of these UDFA guys that we signed can step up and play a prominent role, and that's where the depth is for the cornerback position that has me so nervous because, like
Michael Coates Jr.
Yeah, Coates Jr. and Nate Evans.
Yep.
Because Denzel Ward, he doesn't have an extensive injury history like I think a lot of people believe. He doesn't miss a ton of time, but he does miss games every year, which is normal for that position anyhow. But he's going to miss 2 to 4 games this year. What if Tyson Campbell misses a game or 2, even while Denzel's out? We are going to be so picked apart in the secondary.
Be like the offensive line the last 2 years.
Yeah. It reminds me a little bit of the wide receiver room. I remember I would say we're a Jerry Jeudy injury away from Jamari Thrash being the number 1 wide receiver for us. And that happened, so it's like, we're a couple bad breaks away, a couple guys getting banged up away from putting a UFL secondary out there. Another reason I'm at least curious to watch the secondary this year is these guys like Denzel Ward's entire career with the Browns. He's had Myles Garrett. You know, you don't have to cover as long when you got Myles Garrett rushing the passer. And I'm curious to see how the secondary responds when we don't have a guy, I mean, who's going to force the quarterback to get rid of the ball in under 2 seconds every time. Like, they're going to have to cover longer than they've ever covered. How do they respond to that? So I think that's something interesting to watch in training camp and in the preseason games.
I think our defensive end depth is okay. I think like Alex Wright's had some great pressure numbers. He's a guy that gets injured all the time too, right? And then you have Isaiah McGuire, who is slowly working his way up, and he's been okay. Like, if he can get anywhere from 7 to 9 sacks this year, that's a total win. And he seems to set the edge just a little bit better. My thing is the penetration up the middle. I don't know if Malik Collins is going to be the same guy this year, you know, and is Mason Graham going to take another step? What the heck are we going to do with Mike Hall Jr.? You know, like at one point Stefanski was saying he was like John Randall. Did he not say that? And or maybe he's just a similar physique. I don't know. But we need a push up the middle. And I know, Blake, you always say that every year. What push are we going to get up the middle for Myles to finish, right? Well, we don't have him anymore. So what's going to get Jared Verse, Alex Wright, and McGuire, that rotation, finishing?
This episode is sponsored by Dash Dog Food. Browns fans, Butcher Box for Pets has rebranded to Dash Dog Food. Same great products, same great company, just a new name, a new brand, but with that comes an even better deal for you guys. Now you can get 60% off your first subscription order of the premium slow cooked nutrition dog food or the premium fresh dog food. Just go to dashdogfood.com/dogs, DAWGS, and use promo code DOGS. As you guys know, we're the dogs, but let's not kid ourselves. The most important dogs in our lives are, well, our dogs. And they're not just pets, like I said. They're part of the family. So the question is, what are you actually feeding them? At Dash Dog Food, they believe in real ingredients. Their pet foods have been developed and certified by vet nutritionists to contain 0 artificial flavors or preservatives. You get protein-packed formula that includes pre- and postbiotics to support your dog's vitality and their digestion. And speaking of the benefits of Dash Dog Food, Dash delivers their high-quality food right to your door. So just choose the delivery schedule you need for your dog, and you can change, modify, or pause your plan at any time. So try it out today. Your dog will love you for upgrading their meal times. dashdogfood.com/dogs and use promo code DOGS to get 60, not 50, but now 60% off your first subscription order of the premium slow cooked nutrition fresh dog food or the premium fresh dog food. Minimum purchase of $34, 60% discount applies to subscription orders only. One use per customer. Cancel at any time.
Just to kind of jump to the other side of the ball then real quick too. Josh, you kind of put out a video about this, but I think a room that's super interesting to watch this year is the wide receiver position, because it's essentially it's Jerry Jeudy, you know, and then rookies, and if Cedric Tillman can stay healthy for 15 minutes, so you know what I mean. It's one of those things. How I think Jerry Jeudy starts the season as the number one. Just by default, it's the only guy with really any experience. Like, he's the most veteran guy on the team. But how long does he stay wide receiver one, I think is the question. Because probably if these guys of KC and Boston are as good as we think they can be, not very long.
Sure. Dude, I was going to say, like, Jerry Jeudy was the wide receiver one by default last year, with a much less talented wide receiver core behind him than what we have this year. And how did Jerry Jeudy perform in that role to start the season last year? Harold Fannin Jr. immediately became the number one option. Immediately. I
will say to that regard, which I agree, but a lot of that is we couldn't block. So immediately you couldn't even have time to get to your first read. You're thrown to your check down, you know, your outlet real quick. So I still look at the amount of drops he had. You know, I still look at like the attitude and that kind of thing. So, but
the hop skip,
like,
oh my gosh, dude, I forgot about that.
I was there. I was there for that.
What the hell was he doing?
Dude, paid $400 Canadian to watch that. It sucked.
What's that in American? God.
Come on, man.
303, 280, whatever it is.
I'm with Blake on this also. I think the wide receiver room is very, very interesting, especially if you get past those, like first 5-6 names, because I think they brought Wallace in. I see Wallace being like a special teamer, man, like making
he's
the
a
team
gunner
on special teams. Like he is a workhorse for special teams. After that, it gets, Gage Larvidan, he's gone, I would say. There's interesting names. Thrash is there. I think he's gone.
Yeah.
But Malachi Corley kind of has a role.
I think he can take over for Ced Till, bro.
It's crazy because I really like Cedric Tillman. He just can't stay on the field. And I just end up feeling like I just defend the guy every year. And I'm like, here it comes, the big breakout in fantasy too. Maybe not this year, but like the past few. And it's just, my guy cannot stay on the field.
If Cedric Tillman's 100% healthy and you put him on another team, what wide receiver is he? Is he a 2,
it just depends on the team, bro.
He's 4?
I would say he's probably a 4, bro. You know what 4. I mean?
3 or 4. That's what I was going to say. So, like, Browns fans have liked him because he's flashed at times, but that's because we didn't have anybody else to flash. And it's
good point.
I just think if you put like, sometimes we kind of fall in love with guys because we get to see them every day and we see their videos on X and we see them at training camp and stuff. But like, if we're realistic about the talent, if say we were to cut Cedric Tillman, he's signing for like a minimum somewhere, and he's probably fighting to. It's like the DPJ thing. Yeah. We couldn't believe we let DPJ go here. We loved him here in Cleveland, and then he was out of the league in 2 years. Yeah. Couldn't even do anything in Detroit. So it's one of those things where like sometimes we overvalue our own players because we see them every day. I'm curious to see like how Casey does with the drops. I'm curious to see like how Denzel Boston does with separating at the National Football League level as a
dude. I am
in college. Like
pumped for that.
I'm excited to see some of this stuff, and I'm excited to see. I really hope it's Shedeur because I feel like he's the kind of guy who can he'll put it up there for Denzel to make a play.
He'll unlock that. Yes.
So
dude,
that's kind of stuff I'm excited to see.
Yeah, Denzel Boston, man. I think he has the highest ceiling. I was probably not on the Denzel Boston train when we in my draft picks, I would say when I was happy we drafted him where we drafted him, but you guys really talked me into KC and I'm super pumped about having him too. But Denzel, he's big, he's physical, he wins the contested catches, and that's something like when you practice that, when you see that in minicamp and it's happening over and over and over again, like that's going to translate into the game. And when you see guys like Steve Smith Sr. get freaking excited about that and put the posts out, I think, Josh, you put that out earlier today. I think that's going to develop quickly, man.
Yep.
I agree. Somebody just posted in here, Bo Crow talking about tight end room.
It's very interesting.
That's another one. Because
very interesting.
After Harold Fannin, man, it's...
Well, here's the thing.
Solid.
You got 2 rookies, that they drafted, that they put capital into. You've got Blake Whiteheart still, which, but then you have Jack Stoll. Like, so I think it just all depends on, like, can one of the rookies carve into a Whiteheart role, because Njoku's gone. We do not have that blocking tight end right now. So if we can get one of them guys set up, Harold Fannin is locked in. He's basically a slot wide receiver.
Yeah. He's just a weapon, man.
He's a weapon. But I think we need to, explore and see if we can find something on a blocking tight end in one of these guys. It's very interesting.
I'm probably the highest and most optimistic for Joe Royer, 5th round pick. Just because of what he was able to do in college. Like he's a very good receiving tight end. I think that there's a potential there for him to contribute in that part of the game. Can his, blocking get up to where it needs to be, that he can kind of be on the field a little more to actually make that impact? We'll see. But he's the guy I've got my eye on more than the others. But I think Whiteheart's probably got a good shot since he's been here. He's got the experience. Stoll is he kind of just blocks. And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be a role for this team or not.
Blocks, then runs out to the flats, and hopefully he's open. Cross your fingers.
So I have a question then. What do you guys think the Browns? I've heard so much talk about how the run game is going to be so revamped. What do you guys think? Are the Browns a ground and pound team this year, or are we throwing the ball 40 times? Because I know what I think we're going to do, but what do you guys think the Browns are going to be offensively?
I think we're going to run the crap out of the ball, but I worry about offensive line because it's not going to, the offensive line isn't up to par and it's the same thing where we're getting blown up at the line of scrimmage, guess what? We abandon the run. We will bail out on it and then it'll become, we're down a lot and we're throwing a lot. I just hope that it's, we're able to get anything at the offensive line, at the line of scrimmage, and then you can exploit that a little bit. We haven't been able to. And Judkins is nice. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I would say that the offensive linemen they brought in, they have better run grades than pass blocking grades for the most part. And it's just going to be a matter of how, again, George Warhop, how he puts that together. But my understanding, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but in football, generally what gets an offensive line going, if they can just put their hand in the ground and knock people over. And I think these guys that they have can do it. I don't know about Brailsford, I'm not sure, and I don't know about Fano yet because I haven't seen them play in the NFL. But, I mean, if you're athletic and you can move and you have a center that can actually pull, that's going to help you in your run game. And so I think you might, I don't say necessarily trickery, but they're going to disguise the run a little bit more with all the kind of motion that they're going to do. And even with the Ravens, they had who was the third tight end that they had there?
Charlie Kohler.
Yeah.
Kohler, thanks. So, he was their blocker, but if you take a look at Likely and Mark Andrews, they were not a blocker and kind of a blocker. And that's kind of what we have right now. So if they figured out with that, I know having the King there is helps out too, but their offensive line really, other than the center they just lost, who did they really have? They had a bunch of guys that could knock guys around. And I think they're building that line similar to the way the Ravens did.
I think they're going to, honestly, you could see a progression. I think the beginning of the season, it's going to be a little bit more run heavy. When I say run heavy, I'm not talking like 70-30, talking probably 55-45.
Yeah,
it's still a passing league. You're still going to throw the ball. But I think until the quarterback, whoever it ends up being, because you always start out a little bit slow anyhow on offense. So get the quarterback up to speed, use the run game to open up the pass game. I think that Todd Monken has done enough offense in his career that he's smart enough to realize you can't just come out firing through the pass game and expect it to work like that, especially when, potentially you got a guy who's only started 7 games. It makes sense to focus on the run, establish the run, before you try to straight up throw the ball over everybody.
You know what I want to see is the fake run called the screen. I just want to see a screen game that that actually works for once. Once I say one thing about Baker is he could set up a good screen, and since he's gone, has been complete crap.
Todd Monken's always kind of been known as an air raid guy. So for me, it'll just be interesting. He averaged 28. Lamar Jackson averaged 28 pass attempts per game with Todd Monken. And he's kind of, before he went to the Ravens, we kind of didn't think that was going to be a marriage that would work because he's an air raid guy, and we didn't think Lamar was really going to be an air raid quarterback. But then they went and got Derrick Henry, so that kind of evens things out a bit. So, I just think it'll be interesting to see how it goes, because I think there's some people who think we're going back to Kevin's first year, where Nick Chubb had 300 and some carries in the season. I don't know if I see us being that run heavy. Todd Monken's never been that run heavy kind of guy. He's he likes to throw the ball around. He likes to huck and chuck at football. So I was just curious what you guys are expecting on the offense philosophy wise. I know that we're going to see somebody go in motion.
Yeah.
Every now and again, right?
And I can't wait that we're going to send some, and it's going to be motion with a sense of purpose. It's not going to be like, you could tell the Browns, like they were like, oh, everybody's saying we need to implement motion, and so we should do it. And then they would only do it like 4 times, because it's like they would come out heavy in the game, like we got to do this, and they would do it, and then they wouldn't do it for like 2 quarters.
Yeah,
and then randomly they'd do some terrible motion, and it's for no reason.
And you get a legal shift or something.
And you get an illegal shift. Like there was just no, like you could just tell that it was not a part of the playbook. And they were just like, it's like somebody was like, hey, I think you should do more motion. They're like, I guess we can have a guy move sometimes. And, so like, I'm very excited to see like some pre-snap and at the snap motion with a sense of purpose to actually be able to help the quarterbacks identify coverage and identify matchups and isolate defenders in space and, all the perks that come along with putting guys in motion. I know that that's something I'm extremely excited for with the offense.
Oh yeah, count me in. Count me in.
Your motion rants are great every preseason. Like this is about the time when they start, and then we get to the season. It's like we don't do any motion.
Like I think it's well documented. I was like a Kevin supporter on the show. That being said, like there were still like put a guy in motion. Like all the best offensive coordinators use it at an extremely high rate, and it's because it forces defenders to make decisions, like quick second decisions. It forces people in space. It gets people isolated in matchups. It allows a quarterback to see things pre-snap that he might not otherwise. It's tougher to disguise your coverage, if we're sending people in motion, all that stuff. It's like, God, I can't wait.
Listen, brother, you don't need motion when you have Wildcat.
This is
true. There you go.
Who needs motion?
The QBR killer, the Wildcat. Thanks.
So, but all right. Well, I think we should wrap this up. Mostly, this is selfish of me because I keep getting alerts that my camera's going to die and it's at 5%. So, unless we just want a black screen here, I think we should wrap this thing up. We're approaching the hour mark anyways. But we appreciate you guys being here, hanging out with us through an off season. We're on the doorstep. We're knocking on training camp's door. Hey. I just made that up on the spot.
Jesus, bro.
Hey, I'm a dad. I say dad jokes. But anyways, we're really excited that we've made it through the off season. We're here. We're about to have some real football to talk about. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. We got a super chat. I wanted to do this before we wrapped it up. I don't know if you saw it. It's for you, Blake.
I did not
Jay Cuddles. What do you think he wants you to do?
I did see that. I was just ignoring it.
Oh, come on. Glaze Shedeur, and he wants you to glaze Isaiah Bond for a second, too. Go for it.
I am excited to see Isaiah. I do think Isaiah Bond, he turned some heads already. I think he's definitely going to have a spot on this team. I think he's kind of
10 pounds of extra muscle, man. 10 pounds of extra muscle.
We kind of we don't talk about him a lot when we talk about some of the guys who have a chance to make this team, but I thought he flashed last year, and he put on the muscle. If you keep, I think he's got a shot to be somebody for this team. So I am excited to see him, but I'm not. That's all he's getting out of me. Anyways, he got me off my game. We'll wrap it up before my. I almost died. I almost died before my camera died. So. But anyways, we appreciate you guys being here. Let us know in the comments and stuff what you guys want to see in training camp, the position battles you guys are most excited for, what quarterback you guys think is going to eventually come out on top in the QB competition. So let us know all that and more. Drop us voicemails, thedogspodcast.com. And again, if you want extra content, join thedogs.com. So we will see you guys sometime next week. Go Browns.
Go Browns.
Happy birthday, Harold Fannin Jr., baby.
There you go. Get it in.
It's in our blood, it's in our bones, orange and brown, yeah, we ride for our own like a dog pack running. We ain't alone, game day comes, get ready for the show. It's our call, it's our bark, it's our song. We stand tall, yeah, we've been here all along. Through it all, the dog pound standing strong. We all dogs, yeah, we all dogs. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Follow us on social media at The Dogs Podcast. And join our dog pack community at jointhedogs.com. We are dogs.
This episode is sponsored by ISSA. Browns fans, if you're into health and fitness, have you ever wondered how you could maybe turn those hobbies and your passion into an actual career? If that sounds interesting to you, then ISSA has the opportunity you've been looking for. ISSA is the International Sports Science Association, and they can help you become a certified personal trainer in as little as 3 months. And right now you can get $100 off your certification when you sign up through our link, joinissa.com/dogs, DAWGS. Now, certifications are 100% online, self-study, and self-paced. You can study anywhere from your phone, tablet, or computer. And the final exam is open note, open book, aka piece of cake. Except you fitness nuts probably don't eat a ton of cake, so let's just call it a piece of delicious protein bar. And ISSA has the #1 job guarantee in the industry. If you get certified and sign up to be a certified trainer with ISSA, you have a job guarantee or your money back. ISSA has over 10,000 gym partners that have over 73,000 open jobs for trainers right now. And you don't need a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree. You just need your certification to qualify for these jobs. So what are you waiting for? With certification this simple, there's no excuse not to pursue your passion and become a certified personal trainer today. Get $100 off your certification at joinissa.com/dogs. You've wanted to make a change long enough. Now it's time to do something about it. That's joinissa.com/dogs for $100 off your personal trainer certification.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.